Morning, Charlie. Thank you for joining us on our final episode to celebrate National Apprenticeship Week 2021. Great to have you with us this morning. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's been a good week so far, obviously chatting to Emily and Jacob, and now it's great to obviously catch up with yourself. Can you, obviously, for the people who don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself and your apprenticeship here at PD?
Yeah, so my name's Charlie Caswell. I'm a civil engineering apprentice that started in September last year. So right in the middle of the pandemic. I actually started my second year in my HNC at Teesside University. I worked alongside Emily Clark, as you said you've spoken to previously.
Great stuff. Wow, so yeah, starting in the midst of the pandemic. I bet that was a strange and interesting start to your journey.
It was, yeah. It was strange, but quite quickly adapted, and the team has been really, really welcoming, and it's been really enjoyable.
Oh, that's great to hear. So, you just mentioned a little bit about the stage of your apprenticeship you're at now, and that you started last year. So, how long does your apprenticeship run on for?
So once I've finished this year, I'll have another 3 years left of my apprenticeship to do, and then I'll have my degree. Hopefully hoping on to go on to do a master's after that. That'll take another year or two.
Sounds very interesting. Sounds like you've got some good aspirations there as well. So have you seen much change in your role throughout the sort of last year, or with you starting sort of halfway through the pandemic, have you just sort of gone, I suppose you haven't had an idea of what it was like before, so has it just sort of been normal almost?
Yeah, it's almost normality, to be honest. I've seen an increase in workload and things like that as I've became more competent in things, but as far as surrounding the pandemic, it's been really well dealt with within the department. I've worked from home every now and then when it needs to be, but the rest of it's been in the office, and not an awful lot of change, I can imagine.
Sounds good. Good to hear it sort of seems normal for you as well then. So with your apprenticeship, I can imagine, is that mostly online then at the moment?
Yeah. So it's been all online. So since starting university, I've never actually been to university yet.
Interesting.
But that being said, it's still been really good. All the lectures have been online, and they've all been recorded as well. So it's an advantage that if you feel you missed something or you want to go back and look at something, they're just at your disposal. Which I find is really good. It is weird not having that face-to-face contact, but it's still got its advantages.
Yeah. So have you got the likes of like Zoom calls available with lecturers and things like that if needs be?
Yeah. So I've got like a personal tutor who you can call if you're stuck with anything. And to be honest, all the lecturers and tutors are there for you if you're stuck with anything.
Oh well, that's really good to hear. So obviously that it's great you're getting that sort of support from an educational perspective. Have you felt the support sort of been to the same standard from PD Ports and us as a business?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think starting off from giving me the opportunity to start my apprenticeship with PD, and then the team, so the mentorship of my manager and the other engineers around us, it's been excellent. I felt really welcomed from day one, and all the inductions, everything was to a really high standard, and I've really enjoyed my past 3 months.
Fantastic. So have you got a mentor that you're assigned then who sort of supports you through your apprenticeship?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so my mentor is Neil Dallas, same as Emily's. So Neil's really good. We have regular check-ins just to make sure that everything's all right. My workload's not too big. I'm not struggling with any of the work and things like that. So it's the support's there, and it's there from the rest of the team as well, which is really nice to have.
Yeah, it's always good to have a good strong support network when you're trying to grow your knowledge and your learning and things. That's definitely good to hear. Have you learned any lessons over the past year, or have you got any advice that you want to share from the past year at all?
I feel the biggest thing from joining has been the aspect on health and safety, and how big PD press on it, and like doing my IOSH and safety passport and things. it was like a real eye opener to some of the risks that there are around the industry, and just making sure that's paramount at all times. It's at the forefront of your mind, really.
Yeah, that's very, I suppose that is a really good important point. I suppose as well with apprenticeships, it's great that you're in that position where you have you're able to do those additional courses to again further your learning, as you say, on important things such as health and safety, which play, I imagine, a huge part in your role as an engineer.
Yeah, definitely. It's really good to have those opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. So where obviously you're in quite the early stages of your career at the moment, have you got any aspirations for over the next year? Anything that you maybe want to achieve by next year?
I just really want to just keep pushing myself to becoming more competent within my role at PD, and my studies just to carry on being successful. Hopefully, it'd be nice to get in the classroom at some point. But as far as any sort of career goals, just to keep working hard, and to hopefully get to where I want to be in a longer term to be a chartered engineer.
Yeah, that's definitely good. I mean, obviously we spoke about Emily Clark, who is also an apprenticeship, doing an apprenticeship in your department. Is it good to sort of have Emily there, who's sort of a couple of years ahead, to sort of learn from, who obviously Emily's already completed part of her apprenticeship already? So is it good to have someone there you can sort of chat to about that and it can sort of relate to?
Yeah, it's really good. Emily's at university. Emily's a year ahead of me, so it's really good if I'm ever stuck with anything in that type of perspective. She's there for me to go to. And then when I first joined, obviously she's been in the same position as me, so it was really nice to have someone there who understood where I was with when I first started.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just nice to have that.
Can't it, when you first start? I mean, yeah. I haven't been with the company for too long, just over a year now, where I've been sort of on a full-time basis. So it's great to sort of have that welcoming face, I suppose, and know you're coming into a sort of welcoming group of people.
Yeah, definitely.
So in terms of apprenticeships as a whole, you've sort of had that first-hand experience this year. What would you give any advice to anyone who's sort of looking to start an apprenticeship, or maybe doesn't know much about apprenticeships, who might want to know more?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would say is just to start getting a CV put together and start applying to different places. And because at the end of the day, the benefits are endless. Like, I find some days you can go to university and next day you can come to work and put it into practice, and really helps things stick with you. I think the experience that you get from an apprenticeship is it's excellent. I suppose
you've got that good balance of being at university and getting that educational aspect, but then also getting that sort of on the job training as well at the same time.
Yeah, it's really useful.
Best of both worlds there, I suppose.
Yeah.
So in terms of things like obviously National Apprenticeship Week, do you think they play an important role in sort of increasing the awareness of apprenticeships, and I suppose changing the stigma around them? I think what's often talked a lot about is that apprenticeships are for sort of people who don't want to go to university, or think are a bit of a get out sometimes, and it's totally not the case. And as you can see, obviously you're going to a route through university via an apprenticeship. So do you think they're important in sort of breaking the stigmas attached to apprenticeships?
Yeah, I think without a doubt, I mean, even from my own experience, when I said I first wanted to go do an apprenticeship, some people around me said, like, "Are you sure it's what you want to go do?" And I say it definitely is. And I think it's important that people realise that it's not just a get out, as you say, and it is actually a really good career pathway. And it's got a lot of positives to it, and not any negatives that I can think of, to be honest. I think it is important to have things like National Apprenticeship Week just to, as you say, break that stigma.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, it's been great chatting to you anyway, and thanks for obviously sharing your story with us today. It's been great to hear your perspective of someone who sort of started within a global pandemic, I suppose, and hear how you got on with with that, and it seems like you're doing really well and getting really stuck in to the business and working hard. So thanks very much for your time today, Charlie, and sharing your story with us.
I thank you for your time. Really enjoyed it.